So what's up, peoples? I'm back. It's your girl indeed, and if anything looks different from last time to this time, I look and feel a lot better. So in my last video I was talking about vitamin D deficiency, and it was the first video that I put on my Indeed Love channel, and so on that channel I'm gonna do more of this type stuff there, things that are just pertaining to like my regular everyday life and stuff. And then I'll leave the Kinks and Coffee channel for the natural hair and everything else. So I'm just kind of getting that thing together. So anyhow, thanks to everyone that watched the last video about my vitamin D deficiency. This is going to be an update video for it. And what I'm going to be talking about in this video, I wanted to take a moment to be much more clear. In the first video, I was in the midst or in the throes of the vitamin D deficiency. I was really sick. I was very tired. And a friend of mine was like, hey, why don't you do a video about it, just, because other people may be going through it. And I touched on it lightly, but I didn't go in depth as to what I was personally experiencing. And now some of the things that I've done to cure the vitamin D deficiency. So that's what I want to discuss today, because apparently this is something that a lot of people are dealing with. When I started experiencing the symptoms of vitamin D deficiency long before, of course, I knew I had it. In hindsight, I can look back and I can see different things like, oh, okay, that might be why I was, feeling the way that I was feeling months prior. But around November of 2015, I really started becoming, sick, I guess you could say. I started feeling real bad, very lethargic. I was extremely tired, and I had been experiencing some of those things throughout the whole entire year. Back in June of 2015, I was in the hospital for a week, trying to figure out what was going on with my body, to discover that my electrolytes were off. My potassium and magnesium was low. So I had been working on that, and it had given me really bad heart palpitations. So over a few months I was kind of dealing with that and trying to correct that issue. So when November came, I kind of thought that when I started feeling, worse, that it was stemming from, the original potassium and magnesium. Like, okay, maybe I'm not working hard enough on it. The symptoms that I was having was I was extremely tired. I was still having the heart palpitations and flutters. One of the most severe symptoms is I started having really bad body aches, really bad pains in my joints, in my back, in my knees. Just my whole entire body began to ache, and that was very strange. So I made an appointment with the doctor, and they kind of were still, looking at other things. And I did some research on YouTube about vitamin D deficiency and ran into, I saw a video that another girl put up about her story, and it was so similar, and another guy, and I could link their pages below for you to watch. And it just kind of opened my eyes. So when I had my doctor's appointment, I asked them, could you check my vitamin D? And none of the other doctor appointments I had previously, no one stopped to check my vitamin D. I had to ask. And then after I asked, it was just kind of like, oh, I don't think it's that. And I was like, well, let's not think about what you think it is. Let's just check it and just be sure. So, my doctor checked it and called me back like within 2 hours and was like, I already sent over your prescription. You do have vitamin D deficiency, and your levels should be somewhere around 30, 40, and mine were a 9, that I was severely deficient. And so I began on a 50,000 IU of vitamin D once a week that was prescribed in these little green pills. I have them here. This is what they look like. So I was prescribed this to take once a week. So I started taking them, and I noticed that I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep at all. So my entire sleep schedule was thrown off. I just could catnap here and there. And so I read and did more research online and found that vitamin D3 is better for us to take, and that vitamin D2 does have some side effects, or it doesn't agree with everyone. It obviously was not agreeing with me, so I switched to D3 to see how that will work, and for me it worked much better. I began taking 5,000 IU per day, which put me at about 35,000. I knew it would take longer to heal, but I wanted to cut back on such a high amount, and I've been taking that for about 6 weeks. I noticed within the past 3 weeks that I finally started to feel better. I was still having some symptoms, which were and still are back pain in my upper back, in my upper left back. I was having really bad pains under, my right breast. And I was having really bad pains there. And then along up and down my left side, I was having a lot of pains, a lot of gurgling noises. It was just crazy. So those things just subsided within, I'd say, about the last week or so. The things that I did to cure myself with the vitamin D were, found out that magnesium is essential, and I told you I already had an issue with magnesium before, so I learned about Epsom salt. Even though I've used it before, I turned back to that and put myself on a regimen. So I use Epsom salt in the bath at least 3 times a week, about 1 cup to 2 cups in my bath water, and I absorb it through my skin, because there's more than one way to get magnesium into your body. Also, walnuts are a good source of magnesium, so I began eating more walnuts. I'll put them in my smoothies, I'll put them on my salad, stuff like that. You can also take it in a capsule form. So I do have these. I haven't started on these yet because I've been doing the Epsom salt baths, and I've also been incorporating it into my diet. So my goal is to get as much as I can from the foods that I'm eating first and foremost, and then lean on the supplements later. Magnesium oil. I purchased this at Marshall's for $9.99. If you don't want to use the Epsom salt, or not sure that you're getting enough magnesium in your foods, you can use a magnesium spray like this one. And how this works is, after you take a bath, when your pores are nice and open, you can spray it on your body, anywhere from 3 to 20 sprays. It does take some getting used to, because you can feel it absorb. So once you spray it on, leave your body alone for a few minutes, maybe about 15 minutes. You will feel this tingle on your skin, so it will throw you off if you don't know that that's going to happen. And it'll absorb, and then you can go on and put your lotion or whatever that you put on your skin on. So this is the magnesium spray. Another thing that I learned with vitamin D that helped me cure my vitamin D is taking B12, because B12 is one of those things that we think we're getting enough of it, and you just might not. So I did have my B12 levels checked, and they were okay. So I do take B12 here and there to make sure that I'm on top of it, especially because I don't eat red meat. A lot of vegans, they are deficient in B12, and it does go hand in hand with vitamin D and your body and all that jazz. The other 3 things is, of course, taking a multivitamin will help you, just in all those other areas, because if you're lacking in one thing, my thing is, if I'm lacking in vitamin D, what else am I lacking in? So taking a multivitamin helps. The only thing is, if you're taking the vitamin D supplements and you're taking a multivitamin, do read the label to see how much vitamin D is in this, because this one has vitamin D and I was taking the other one, so you don't want to get too much because you can get toxicity from the vitamin D if you have too much. You know, it's in your milk, it's in the multivitamin, so make sure that you look at those things and not overdo it. And then for the last two things, they're the easiest, but they are the most important. Drinking enough water. Not too much water, not too little water. Drinking enough water according to your body, your weight, and your activity level. I know sometimes people, they're like, oh, drink water, drink water. Oh, drink 2, 3, 4 liters. No, no, no. Drink what you need according to your body, your weight, your activity level, because too much of anything can be harmful. And last but not least, make sure that you get a lot of sun if you can. So that's a start, and as the days get longer and as they get warmer, I'm making sure this year that I'm out and in the sunshine. The best way to get vitamin D is through the sun. It's really not a vitamin, it's truly a hormone, and the best way to get that hormone is through the sun, and it makes a huge difference. So with that said, I'll keep you guys posted with my progress. If you like the video, please drop me a comment, please subscribe, and rate this video. And I hope to see you guys soon. And I hope that you're feeling much better very, very soon. All right?